Welcome to another video. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how we can use the factor theorem to find the factors of a particular polynomial function. Okay, so let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. This is the polynomial function, and we want to find the factors, okay, that of this polynomial. So here we use the trial of values. Okay, so we try for certain values to see if this polynomial will go to 0. So the value that will set this thing to 0, then that becomes the first factor. Then we use that factor to find the other factors. Okay, so from here, when we say x equals 3, when we substitute 3 here, we are going to have p of 3 equals 3 cubed minus 3 squared minus 5 into 3 minus 3. So this, when you sum everything up, you have 27 minus 9 minus 15 minus 3, and that is 0. Okay, so p of 3 is basically giving us 0. That means when s equals 3, is basically a factor of this polynomial. So we can say that thus x minus 3 is a factor of s cubed minus s squared minus 5x minus 3. So now we have the first factor. What we do is that we use this factor and then the polynomial. Then we use either the synthetic approach or the long division approach to find the other factors. So let's try and find the other factors. So from here, we use the long division approach. So using the long division approach, our divisor is s minus 3, right? Then the polynomial, right? S cubed minus s squared minus 5x minus 3, right? This is our polynomial, which is the dividend. So here we take x to divide the s cubed, then we have s squared. Okay, so this result we have here will multiply everything here. So s squared times s over here becomes s cubed. Then s squared times minus 3 becomes minus 3s squared. Over here, we don't have any x term, so we have plus 0x plus 0 as a constant. So now we do our subtraction. So when we subtract, you're going to have s cubed minus s cubed becomes 0. Minus s squared minus 3s squared becomes 2s squared. Then minus 5x minus 0x becomes minus 5x. Minus 3 minus 0 becomes minus 3. So here we go ahead to divide again. So when we divide that, so let's try to send our work here. Okay, so let's do the long division here. So using the long division method, we can find the other factors. So when we try the long division approach, now we have the first factor. So we use the first factor as our divisor, and the polynomial will be the dividend. Okay, so we have x minus 3, which is the first factor, becomes our divisor. Then we have the polynomial inside the square root sign, minus 5x minus 3. So here, x divides x cubed, okay? So we have s squared. Then this result, multiply everything here. So we're going to have s cubed. Then this times this becomes minus 3s squared. Over here, we don't have any x term, and we don't have any constant. So from here, we say plus 0x plus 0. So when we do the subtraction, we're going to have s cubed minus s cubed becomes 0. And then minus s squared minus 3s squared becomes plus 2s squared. Then minus 5x minus 0x becomes minus 5x. Minus 3 minus 0 becomes minus 3. So now this here, we can still use it to divide x. Okay, so we can divide that with x. So when we divide that, we are going to have 2x. So plus 2x. Okay, so once we have that result, we use that result to multiply everything here. So when we do that, 2x times x becomes 2x squared. 2x times minus 3 becomes minus 6x. So we have minus 6x. We don't have any constant term, so plus 0. So do a subtraction, and here we have 0 minus 5x minus 6x becomes plus x. Then minus 3 minus 0 becomes minus 3. Okay, so here we can still use the x, divide the x. So when we do that, having plus 1. Okay, so now this plus 1 multiplies everything here. So we're going to have x, and then 1 times minus 3 becomes minus 3. So now we have the final work. So x minus x gives us 0. Minus 3 minus 3 becomes 0. So we have the final result to be 0. So that truly means that x minus 3 is indeed a factor to this particular polynomial. So once that is a factor to this polynomial, this quotient we have here becomes the other factors. So x minus 3 and x squared plus 2x plus 1 are the factors to this polynomial. So here we say that the factors of the polynomial p of x is equal to x minus 3 and s squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, so these are the factors to this particular polynomial, but s squared plus 2s plus 1 is, when we factorize it, we will have a repeated root, which will be x plus 1, s plus 1. So that is going to be x minus 3, x plus 1, s plus 1. Okay, so this is a repeated root, so we can combine that. Okay, so when we combine that, then we are going to have x minus 3, x plus 1 squared. So this becomes the factor to the polynomial s cubed minus s squared minus 5x minus 3. The factors are x minus 3 and s plus 1 all squared. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the process we go through to find the factors and the other factors of a particular polynomial. First, use the trial approach to find the first factor. So once you have the first factor, use that factor and then use either the long division approach or the synthetic approach to find the other factors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your mates, and I'll give you more updates.